So earlier this year, I made a movie all about Disney Movie Club. I went over the service itself, why I think it was a great way to save money if you like collecting Disney movies physically, and why it is such a great way to buy those movies. And then they announced that they're shutting it down. Talk about timing, like literally a week or two after I made the video, Disney made the announcement that they are shutting down Disney Movie Club permanently, and you only have a few months left to get your movie orders in before you never can again. And I am very disappointed, but I did say in that video that there was a chance that this could happen and that it could happen fairly soon. I won't get into all the details about why this just makes sense for Disney, but the biggest reason is that people just don't really buy physical movies that much anymore. There are people, of course, don't get me wrong, but when it's something ridiculous like 75% of all movies are watched digitally through streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and Paramount Plus and whatever else there is these days, it just makes sense to stop selling movies physically, especially when most of them are niche titles that don't really sell that much anyway. I was very fortunate that most of the exclusives from Disney Movie Club that I wanted, I already got. There were a few that I didn't, and when this announcement came up, they sold out before I could get them. Although I did get one or two in this video that I'll show off that I was missing before. But I was lucky that I got most of what I wanted. The hardcore titles that I knew before I became a club member I wanted, I got right away, and I'm glad that I did. Now I don't have to worry about it anymore. But I couldn't just leave it at that, so I placed this massive order with Disney to pick up these titles here. This box is full of movies, and I am going to show you all what's inside. Got some exclusives here, got some non-exclusives. Actually, most of them are non-exclusives, but Disney Movie Club was always a great way of getting brand new titles, and if you bought them in bulk, you saved a whole lot of money. I believe when all was said and done, after shipping and taxes and all that junk, my average per title for what you see in here came out to only $15.70 each. Considering that most of these titles are Blu-rays and 4Ks, that's actually a really good deal. I'm just going to go through top to bottom here. So let's see, we got this Mandalorian Grogu VIP pin. Once you became a VIP member, you got a free pin for every single order, so Free Guy on 4K. This is a really fun film. If you haven't seen this, you gotta check this out. This is a super fun film. This is like a really good family-friendly action movie. It's really funny. Of course, it stars Ryan Reynolds. If you haven't seen this, you're missing out. Got another DVD of Zootopia, because why not? DuckTales the movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp. This never got a Blu-ray release, and the DVD was exclusive to Disney Movie Club, so if you wanted to see it on better than VHS, this is the way to do it. Huh, look at this. We got some Ralph Breaks the Internet stickers. That's kind of cool. I ended up actually getting Ralph Breaks the Internet from Walmart instead of Disney Movie Club because it was cheaper there. That is a really cheap movie. The Princess and the Frog 4K. I ended up getting every Disney animated film currently available on 4K that I was missing. So anything in the Disney animation canon, I got. The Emperor's New Groove and Kronk's New Groove 2 movie pack on standard Blu-ray. I did not own either of these in HD. I think I only owned The Emperor's New Groove on VHS, so worth the upgrade. That is one of the funniest films ever. A Blu-ray and a 4K of Zootopia, and I had somebody ask me, Skul, are you going to build a house with those copies of Zootopia you have? Yes? Here we go, one of the true DMC exclusives, A Kid in King Arthur's Court on Blu-ray. I will say this is not a particularly good film, but I did watch it a lot growing up, so I have a lot of nostalgia for it. Fun fact, this is one of Daniel Craig's earliest movies that he was ever in. Brave on 4K, I did not get every single Pixar film on 4K that I was missing, because that's like 20 films and I only owned like 5. But I got a few that I know that I'm going to enjoy in 4K over and over. This is one of my wife's favorite Pixar films, so owning the 4K just made sense. Also, fun fact, Brave was the very first film ever to use Dolby Atmos. Toy Story 3, I already owned Toy Story 1 and 4 on 4K, so I had to pick up 2 and 3, and there's 3. Beauty and the Beast, again, one of those Disney animation films that I was missing in 4K. I'm going to watch this over and over again, I have no doubt. One of the greatest films ever made. Big Hero 6, same story, Disney animation I was missing. Wreck-It Ralph. This is interesting. This is Miracle in Lane 2 on DVD. This is one of my favorite Disney Channel original movies. I don't know if the DVD was ever available in stores or if it was just a DMC exclusive, but regardless, you can't buy this brand new anywhere else, and it was only a few bucks, so a film that I loved from way back in my childhood, and now I own it. Jojo Rabbit. This is one of those films that everyone needs to see once before they die. It's in the same tier as like Schindler's List and Casablanca. You could argue that it's a bit tasteless, but I think that it's handled extremely well. This is, again, one of those films that everyone needs to see at least once. Toy Story 2, there's the other one. Avengers, the first one in 4K. This is actually my favorite MCU film, if you can believe it, and I did not own it in 4K yet, so I decided to throw it in there because that made it cheap. There were actually a lot of MCU films and a lot of other films that I actually had in my cart and I was ready to buy, but it just brought the price up way too high and I had to settle on just whatever I really, really wanted. This is one of the downsides of being a DMC member is you kept throwing stuff in your cart to sweeten the deal and ended up paying more and more money. Disney, Donald, and Goofy, The Three Musketeers on Blu-ray. Really, really fun animated film. I really miss when Disney made films about Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. Finding Nemo in 4K. Unfortunately, there's no slipcover with this, but hey, great film, and I'm sure that it'll look beautiful. Up in 4K. And Coco in 4K. And lastly, Aladdin in 4K. So with this order from Disney Movie Club, my final order very likely, I now own every Disney animation canon film that has been released in 4K so far. Really hoping this year we get more stuff. I would love to see Bambi and Sleeping Beauty and The Lady and the Tramp and Fantasia in 4K. Make it happen, Disney. You did so good with Snow White and Cinderella. Come on. So now that Disney has ended Disney Movie Club, what does that mean? Well, we don't know yet. They did just sign an agreement with Sony to make Sony the distributor of their home videos, and we don't know what that means exactly. I think that basically all it means is Disney is just going to use Sony directly to print discs and distribute them, which cuts out a middleman and saves both of them a little bit of money. I'm pretty sure Disney themselves are still the ones who decides what gets printed and where. So they're not selling home video in Australia anymore. That's not going to change. Them closing Disney Movie Club probably means we're never going to get any exclusive titles again. They never made a Blu-ray for Homeward Bound or Homeward Bound 2. So odds are that they never will because they didn't up till now. I mean, they printed stuff like this years and years ago. When's the copyright date on this? 2021. And they still got plenty in stock right now. That won't last because all the DMC exclusives are selling out. Like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is one that I really wish I could have added, but it was sold out by the time I wanted to add it to my cart, and now on eBay it's going for way more than I want to buy. But my point is that these films were sitting in a warehouse somewhere for all of those years with nobody to buy them. And now that the services close for you to exclusively buy them, I don't see Disney seeing much of a point in making this happen anytime in the future. I'm very happy that I got the titles that I did when I did, because now most of them are just not going to be obtainable anymore, at least not without going to eBay and paying a premium. You could always make the argument that you could just watch them on Disney Plus, and that's true, but it was just really important for me as a physical collector, as a Disney fan, to place one last order and get it in and And now I've got a whole lot of films and a lot of digital codes I've got to redeem. And all I know is that I wouldn't have gotten most of these if it wasn't for Disney Movie Club. So even though it's shutting down, it did me well, and I'm super happy that I became a member last year when I did. It let me get a whole lot of these films, and now that I own them, I can watch them over and over as long as I live. So that brings this video to an end. I am sorry that my old Disney Movie Club video is so outdated now, just a few months after it released, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes. Let me know if you guys got anything from Disney Movie Club over the years, and maybe if you're planning on making one final mega purchase like I did. Again, for all of these films, it came out to an average of only $15 per movie. For a brand new copy of some of these films in 4K, that is an insane deal, and I'm glad that I did it. That does it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more.